We're going to do a mindful compassion practice, which I'd say do sitting if you can, but listen to your body. If you need to do it lying down, of course, do that. I thought I'd just read a little bit about the science behind the compassion practices. So this is, I mean, this book is old, so I'm sure there's more information on this now. So this loving kindness, these compassion practices change the brain, making us more compassionate. So in a pilot study, Richard Davidson and his colleagues at the University of Wisconsin trained a group of people via the internet to practice metta meditation for 30 minutes a day for 2 weeks. A comparison group of people learned to cognitively reappraise situations in their lives. After 2 weeks, so that would be like the CBT type thing that we might be familiar with. After 2 weeks, only the metta group showed significant improvement on the self-compassion scale. Then Davidson exposed the participants to images of human suffering, such as a child with an eye tumor, as he scanned their brains with fMRI. The metta group had increased activity, the insula, which shows empathy. The more active the insula was while the participants looked at the distressing photographs, the higher their scores on self-report scales of well-being and self-compassion. Davidson then gave the subjects a chance to donate their $165 honorarium to a cause of their choosing. Activation in the insula predicted how much money the subjects donated. This study demonstrates that only 2 weeks of loving kindness meditation can change brain activity, make people feel more compassionate towards themselves and others, and even elicit generosity. So, whilst we're doing these practices, and hopefully you are activating your parasympathetic nervous systems and feeling more relaxed within the sessions, knowing that in doing these practices, you're potentially having an impact not only on your own well-being, but your generosity and compassion to those around you. So it might seem a bit woo-woo, like if you, but there is some science there. Okay, so setting yourself up, let's begin. You're taking a moment to arrive in your body today, settling into your space. That sense of arrival, being grounded, solid, almost like a mountain. As the weather passes us by, we remain in our bodies, supported by the earth. And then narrowing your attention to your breath. Breathing in and breathing out, not changing the rhythm in any way, simply observing the breath as it is. Following the flow of your in-breath, those pauses, the exhalation. And an invitation to find something within the body or your breath that you can anchor yourself in within the practice when your mind wanders. It's within some of the mindful compassion practices, it can be a lot easier for the mind to wander off into the stories. So just finding somewhere neutral for yourself that you can ground yourself in. Experience the present moment from. It could be the tip of your nose, it could be your left ear, it could be the in-breath, it could be the rise and fall of your belly. Somewhere when your mind has wandered, or there are parts of the practice that you don't want to explore, that you can bring yourself here and remain in that present moment awareness. And then returning your attention to your breath once you've found that anchor. And expanding your awareness from the breath to include all of your body. And an invitation to hold yourself in an awareness of compassion and kindness. You may be feeling tired or hungry, sad, anxious, bored. Maybe neutral. Allowing yourself to be as you are in this moment. Turning towards yourself with that tenderness and kindness that you might towards a seedling that you've cultivated, or a bird that you see on your windowsill, or a newborn baby. Offering yourself this tenderness. Being open to your experience of yourself. And taking a moment to give yourself credit for taking the time out of your life to practice in this way. Be with the challenge of the present moment. Dropping into the felt sensation of that within the body. What is it to be you right now? Perhaps taking an internal weather report. You might looking out of the window to see what the weather's like. What's the weather like in you today? And what exactly is the felt sensation of that within the body? The colours, the shapes, the textures. Remembering to follow my guidance only if it feels right for you. Listening to yourself and your needs. And now an invitation to bring into your mind's eye a living being that brings you joy. So this is something easy to be with, something pleasing on the eye, something that brings a smile to your face. So a pet, a plant, a tree that you watch through the seasons, an easy joy, a living being that brings an ease of joy, and resting in the felt sensation of holding this living being in your mind's eye. Where in the body do you notice the sensations as you rest in holding this living being in your mind's eye, this joy, your face, feel it in your arms, your back, your belly, your chest, your legs. I'm not pushing anything away or clinging to any sensation, simply allowing them to arrive and pass by, and like the sea, the waves roll in and they roll out. That this living being is vulnerable, impermanence, but present right now in our mind's eye. Experience some level of joy, comfort, struggle. And then holding this living being in your mind's eye, an invitation to say these words out loud or to yourself. Nobody can hear you. May you be well. May you be at ease. And may you be kind to yourself and others. May you be well. May you be at ease. May you be kind to yourself and others. May you be well. May you be at ease. May you be kind to yourself and others. And then resting in the felt sensation of having said those words, holding this living being in our mind's eye. Now an invitation to move your attention towards a neutral person. So we're going to move into people now. So this is somebody that you may see regularly, but don't know their name. You don't know their story. Somebody you pass whilst walking a dog or in the market. Dropping into the felt sensation of what it is to hold this person in your mind's eye. This neutral person that if you didn't see them again, you wouldn't know necessarily what happened. That they too are vulnerable. That they experience joy and struggle and suffering. For the most part of their day, they'll be engaged in mundane and ordinary activities. What is the felt sensation of holding a neutral person in your mind's eye? They've most likely been let down. They've probably let down others. Fully human. And then an invitation, again, in your mind's eye or out loud. You can say, may you be well. May you be at ease. May you be kind to yourself and others. May you be well. May you be at ease. May you be kind to yourself and others. May you be well. May you be at ease. And may you be kind to yourself and others. And an invitation to now bring into your mind's eye a friend. Dropping into the felt sensation of what it is to hold this friend that you care about in your mind's eye. You know some of their story. You've perhaps been with them through joys and struggle. Their vulnerability, their strengths. Their joys and sorrows. You may have let you down. You may have let them down. Holding this person, this friend in your mind's eye. And resting in the felt sensation within your body of holding them in the space. allowing your experience to be as it is. You don't need to change anything. There's nothing to fix. We're simply resting in the felt sensation of our experience of holding a friend in our mind's eye. In the same way that we observe our breath, breathing itself. Now you can say these words out loud or in your head. May you be well, may you be well. May be at ease. And may be kind to yourself and others. May you be well. May you be at ease. May you be kind to yourself and others. May you be well. May you be at ease. May you be kind to yourself and others. And just spending a few more moments resting in the felt sensation of having said those words towards this person, his friend. And now an invitation to move your attention towards somebody that you're finding challenging, a difficult person. Being careful who you choose. Remembering you have that anchor to go to if it's too much. Be playful with yourself. A difficult person. Noticing any aversion, disgust, shame, anger, sadness. Exploring what you notice as you hold this person in your mind's eye, this difficult person, disappointment, this person is vulnerable and suffers, experiences joys, for the most part of their day is filled with the mundane and ordinary. What is the felt sensation of holding this difficult person in your mind's eye within your body? The heaviness, lightness, tingling, the shapes and colours and textures. Checking in with your posture, perhaps noticing if there's any tension or tightening. Perhaps let go of. And then that invitation to say these words out loud or say them in your head. May you be well. May you be at ease. May you be kind to yourself and others. May you be well. May you be at ease. And may you be kind to yourself and others. May you be well. May you be at ease. And may you be kind to yourself and others. Observe the physical and felt experience, what it is to be you in your body. Bringing yourself back into your mind's eye. Tenderness. The felt sensation of what it is to be you, having held all these living beings and people in your mind's eye. And an invitation to say these words out loud or internally. Perhaps placing a hand over your heart and one on your belly. Holding yourself for a moment. May I be well. May I be at ease. May I be kind to myself and others. May I be well. May I be at ease. May I be kind to myself and others. May I be well. May I be at ease. And may I be kind to myself and others. And then expanding that awareness from yourself to include ours as a group. Those who within the live session and those accessing the sessions a bit later, that you are held as part of this group. We're all held in this space. May we be well. May we be at ease. And may we be kind to ourselves and each other. May we be well. May we be at ease. And may we be kind to ourselves and each other. And then expanding your attention to include your household, your village, your town, your county, your region, your country, however far you want to go, your continent, the world, the universe. Expand your attention as far as you feel like you want to go today. May we all be well. May we all be at ease. And may we all be kind to ourselves and each other. May we all be well. May we all be at ease. May we all be kind to ourselves and each other. May we all be well. May we all be at ease. May we all be kind to ourselves and each other. And then letting go of holding onto your heart and your belly if that's what you've been doing. Resting in the felt sensation of what it is to be you in your body. Narrowing your attention to your breath. Allowing the breath to breathe itself. Simply breathing in and breathing out. Expanding that awareness to include all of your body. And I'm going to close the practice with a poem by Wisława Szymborska. I'm probably pronouncing wrong. No title required. It has come to this. I'm sitting under a tree beside a river on a sunny morning. It's an insignificant event and won't go down in history. It's not battles and pacts where motives are scrutinized or noteworthy tyrannicides. And yet I'm sitting by this river, that's a fact. And since I'm here, I must have come from somewhere. And before that, I must have turned up in many other places, exactly like the conquerors of nations before setting sail. Even a passing moment has its fertile past. It's Friday before Saturday. It's May before June. Its horizons are no less real than those that a marshal's field glasses might scan. This tree is a poplar that's been rooted here for years. The river is the Rabba, it didn't spring up yesterday. The path leading through the bushes wasn't beaten last week. The wind had to blow the clouds here before it could blow them away. And though nothing much is going on nearby, the world is no poorer in details for that. It's just as grounded, just as definite as when migrating races held it captive. Conspiracies aren't the only things shrouded in silence. Retinues of reasons don't trail coronations alone. Anniversaries of revolutions may roll by, but so do oval pebbles encircling the bay. The tapestry of circumstance is intricate and dense, ants stitching in the grass sewn into the ground, the pattern of a wave being needled by a twig. So it happens that I am and look. Above me, a white butterfly is fluttering through the air on wings that are its alone, and a shadow skims through my hands that is none other than itself, no one else's but its own. When I see such things, I'm no longer sure that what's important is more important than what's not. So listening to what your body needs for you to do, you might want to walk around, stretch. That was a busy practice. Though no busier than any other. So an invitation to take tea, a simple activity, an invitation to weave mindfulness, a transition. Listening to the sounds and the sensations, the textures, the movements, the smells. Perhaps you've got a glass of water. Today I have verbena, verven, gorgeously citrus. So I'm going to open up the space for sharing, and for those of you practicing at home, an invitation to journal or reflect about your direct experience of that practice. It was a busy one, so if anything did come up, please do reach out if there's anything you'd like to explore, any challenges. I don't want to just leave you with that. So we'll pause here and then we'll come back for a closing practice. So before I move into the closing practice, I'm just going to share something that may be of interest. Would it be this one? Oh, here we go. So, inspired by my own wasting of time and humdrumness of what I'm messing about with, I've decided to do kind of an invitation to myself of, I'm going to make everything around me beautiful, and that will be my life, because a lot of the time I'm not spending my time on beautiful things. So how we spend our moments is how we spend our days, which in turn is how we live our lives. So this is an occupational therapy based idea that I've had, and it's to listen to a piece of classical music, which I've linked to here. It's to explore an exhibition that's on in Cambridge in the UK at the moment, but it's been touring the world, and it's paintings of nature in Europe, and it's got Turner, Constable, Degas, and there's a virtual tour that people can do, and then there's the cultivating gratitude over the month, and the idea being that when we're grateful, we feel calm and peace, and we can't be stressed and grateful at the same time. It's a reciprocal inhibition, sort of a principle within psychology, that you can't feel two contradicting states at once. So if we're grateful, apparently we can't feel stressed. So there's a technique there where you bring to mind an object that you're grateful for, a moment, sort of an event that you were grateful for, and then someone or a living being. We practiced this in depth last week, but this is a sort of like a 3-part breathing space style of gratitude practice. And then in 2 weeks' time, meeting on a Friday afternoon to talk about how you found it. So I'll link it on the page, and it's there for you if you would be interested. So it's kind of about widening our gaze a little bit, and I know nothing about the piece of music or the art exhibition either. It's again that idea of being in a group, being a bit accountable to others, and there's no obligation to come to the session either. It's completely free. If you'd like to, it's there for you. So an activity-based well-being idea. With that said, let's close with a breathing space. So the idea is that within a meditation practice, we regularly practice compassion and the sort of mindful practices. They complement each other, so they work well together. So from now on, for the following 6 ateliers, I'll be either doing a compassion practice closing with mindfulness, or a mindfulness practice closing with the compassion. Or, I mean, they interlink, they weave in, but in terms of the clinical and science behind the practices, that's what I'm doing. Okay. So taking a moment to settle, having a posture that's dignified, honoring yourself, this vessel that carries us around, houses us and our experiences. Generally goes completely unnoticed, as we spend the majority of our time in that segment of our head, analysing, judging, trying to make sense of the nonsensical. I think The universe is 95% dark matter. We understand around 5%. It's probably the same with the body and our experience of it. 95% of the time we are in our minds. So let's drop into our bodies. And I invite you to bring your attention to the physical sensations that you're noticing, the contact with the earth. The fabric of your clothes against your skin. The air that touches your skin. And checking for any points of tension within your body, your forehead, your eye sockets, your jaw. If you can, having your tongue at the top of your mouth, at the roof of your mouth. This encourages nasal breathing. Elongate your spines, the back of your neck, lengthen it. So this involves tucking the chin, not bringing it forward and out. Noticing the contact that you're making with your seat. Having a sense of feeling solid and grounded, rooted, stable. Now bringing your attention to your breath. Following the breath as you breathe in and pause. Filling your lungs with air, perhaps pushing your belly and the sides of your waist and your back. Not changing the rhythm in any way, but simply noticing and dropping into the felt sensation of your breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Allowing the breath to breathe itself. And then expanding your awareness of the breath to include all of your body. You breathing here. Having taken the time out of your busy life to be here. And in doing so, you've taken an active step in taking care of your own health and well-being, impacting not only yourself, but those around you. And just taking a moment to think about what you really need to do next. What do you need to do? What does your body need you to do before you launch into the to-do list and the busyness of the day ahead? Waiting on yourself, taking care of your needs. And as best you can, taking the sense of connection and awareness into whatever you have left to do with your day. So thanks so much for joining me, and do reach out if there's anything or any questions or queries, and you're welcome to share that little thing that I'm doing. You know, anyone who might be interested who's not interested in mindfulness. Bye everybody, have a great weekend.